on the left-hand side, we have Sigrid playing Sigrid this time versus Sedgehun who's playing Sedge. So they're letting each other play their mains. Gonna see a battle of. I mean, I actually think Sigrid's not that bad on this map, honestly.
Yeah, I think you really need to play for the HQ pressure though.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're looking at the 1 racks versus the 2 racks, the 1 racks will want to build like a golem, or even like a dragon can come out on that side. And Sigrid loves that. She loves it when your main defense is a single high power unit, or even like 2 high power units, because she can just destroy one of them for free.
Yep. And we're seeing, I love this. Sedgehun is like not capturing a village to prevent Sigrid from getting. uh, Alright, we see a knight on the south side. That's fine, you don't really need a knight too early on the north. It is good, but you can make do without it since the commander is over there.
I mean, I do think that when you're playing in a situation where you have 1 barracks versus your opponent's 2, you do actually really want to have your strong units coming out the single barracks and your kind of more cheap ones coming out the double.
That depends how you want to play it, I think. If you want to like go all in on your strong front, you can build like spears on your weak side to kind of hold a more limited position, but you'll have more money to like spend into your strong side basically. I think we're seeing them both trying to go for this more center pre-capped village. Ooh, and we're seeing Sigrid taking a more defensive position. I think it might make sense because uh, the dragon is pressuring away the attack. There was no anti-air yet, and Sigrid was pretty far away from Groove. So this position makes sense. Like you weren't gonna get anything done this turn, and it prevents Sedge on the other side from getting this decap. So that's pretty good.
Ooh, Sigrid's being really aggressive this turn. But that balloon backing it up means that is a very big like opportunity to go for. Ooh, Sigrid's even gonna come in here and be aggressive on both fronts at the same time.
Not sure how I feel about having Sigrid down there, because like one of the big units that Sigrid cannot groove is the commander, and she's like she just willingly went to face another one. I guess it depends how well the north front goes, but Sigrid seems to like prefer sending the commander to the weaker side to help out rather than keep it on the strong side to pressure more.
That's a big hex, and that's a big hex that works because there is nothing really to. Oh, that was almost a perfect roll. That would have actually killed the dragon if it had been 1% more. But yeah, that witch, pretty much uncontested up there. We'll be able to kill.
It's a good like hex onto the knight too, because since like it's when there's only a few powerful units like that, every little bit counts, I think.
Wow. It always amazes me just how much damage a dragon, like an injured dragon, will do to units on the road.
Oh yeah.
Dragon had 20% health and did like 40% damage to a knight.
No, Sedgehun like really did a ton of damage in the north front. Sigrid's push is gonna be quite weak after this, even if she does eventually win the fight up there. it's gonna take quite a long time, and he's doing really well on the south too. Even ahead on Groove.
Yeah, that's actually kind of ridiculous, like how poorly that went. Because like it wasn't like those were bad attacks, like separately, like, but when you throw everything you have at your opponent and you don't do just enough, like if there had been one of those attacks on one side and the other was like just moving the army into position to support it, I think it would have been fine. But because it was, I'm just gonna throw everything I have at you on two separate fronts, and then eat a counterattack on two separate fronts, like it just really didn't work out. And now we see the results of that.
Yeah, I think it really goes to show like one of Sedgehun's main strengths is these big fights, army versus army. It's always impressive how much he manages to optimize his turns.
And now we see.
And now Sigrid is adopting a very defensive position, but has managed to regroup somewhat of a strong force. So it's pretty good. Losing the witch is gonna hurt quite a bit. Ooh, and the mage.
Yeah, the mage going down. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you. Yeah, that's huge because now that dragon is completely uncontested. I mean, okay, the harpy and I guess Sigrid could kill
But
the
Sigrid
dragon.
has groove. Yeah.
Alright, so she's gonna kill that dragon, but now Sigrid no longer has that big threat. And okay, she killed actually the most high value target she can. But we're just seeing Sigrid here continue to be very aggressive. And I don't think this is gonna work out. Sedge has groove now.
Yeah, this is where it begins to be very scary. That golem being on a beach is not really where you want to put it. Because one of its main strengths is how tanky it is, but if it's on a beach, it's that much easier to take it down. And the lack of anti-air from Sigrid is also starting to hurt quite a bit. You saw like the balloon block last turn, and for at least one more turn, it's gonna continue.
Yeah, that balloon is putting in a lot of work. And like, even things like this witch is now in a really nice position.
I wonder if, depending on the role, the knight could have suicided and like opened up a Sedge groove.
I think that was probably the idea. But it doesn't really matter too much because the golem was so badly injured that like having to fully heal it on a turn is going to cost like a chunk of money.
Yeah.
And that means the builds this turn are going to be quite weak. You've got 800 gold and 3 production, so you're building a mage and 2 dogs. That's far from ideal.
I wonder if there was potentially a lethal here. There wasn't many units around, so I don't think there was, but like this position from Sedge is quite dangerous because you're surrounded by beaches, so suicides are opened up.
Yeah,
just like what Sedgehun is doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of suicides coming in here, and that's a very dead Sigrid. Mage crit will come down, and then Sedgehun, being classic Sedgehun, will kill as much as he can before he actually finishes the game.
I mean, of course.
It's like even throwing stuff into other units for the sake of it. Just surrounds with that dog from the balloon. And yeah, Sedge Groove ends the game. Sedgehun showing why he is number 1 in the GMT Swiss pools right now. Takes that rather convincingly, and I think we said it during the match, like when you go full out aggressive on one turn and then the counter attack just slams you back on like both fronts. Like Sigrid was just behind from that point.
Yeah. Also, I don't think it's a right decision to send the commander south. I I mean, on your weak side, simply because of the time it takes for it to get there. Uh, but
Yeah, she
yeah,
likes to brawl, and when she could have been doing that up in the north, for example. And that's where the dragon was, and you know she can really threaten that dragon. Of course, the dragon also threatens her because it's very good at killing her in one turn. But you can use her groove to zone that out. So yeah, like I think you're right. Sigrid should probably have been in the north, fighting stuff up there.
yep. And like you can, it's not like you're just fighting in the air. You can translate the winning a fight into killing the HQ. So
Yep,
ultimately, that's the end goal.
very true.
But yeah, Sedgehun very clean in his exchanges with the armies, taking the set 2-0.